All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Ebony again, a.k.a. Fit Mom Diva of Simplicity Health Style, and today we have Miss Arielle with us. How are you, Arielle?
I'm good, and you?
I'm awesome. Thank you so much for taking time and spending with us today and sharing some jewels with us. And for those of you that choose to stick around to the end, as an appreciation for your time, you'll have an opportunity to earn a complimentary gift. So stick around and let's see what Miss Arielle wants to share with us today. So, Ariel, start us off so we get to know a little bit more about you and share a motivational quote that really inspires you, something that encourages you and gets you going.
Okay, so my name is Arielle. I'm from New York. I graduated from the University of Maryland in 2017 with a major in broadcast journalism. I went on to work at News 12 Long Island, which is my local news station, and I'm currently working at Fox News Channel in the city. A quote that I really like is, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough." Yeah.
That's one that I've heard a lot, and I think that that is so true. A lot of times, in order to achieve our dreams, it takes a certain level of stepping outside of our comfort zone to achieve it, and it isn't always easy to do. Which leads into the next thing that we're going to talk about. Can you talk about a time in your life where you didn't necessarily see the light at the end of the tunnel, and maybe it was uncomfortable for you to achieve that particular dream or that particular goal, and you had some situations come up, maybe out of nowhere. You didn't know if you were even going to be able to make it through. Can you talk a little bit about that experience and how you were able to see that goal or that dream to fruition?
Sure. Just last year, actually, I felt like last year was the most difficult time in my life. I did have a job in my field, but I knew I didn't want to be there. And just the whole application process of finding a job, especially in the media field, is just very tough. It put a toll on my mind, my emotions, and everything. So I thought that maybe I'd be stuck in my same position that I with. And I realized that the more I met people and the more I just sat back and remembered that I'm young and I still have time, that helped me, ease up. And something came my way unexpectedly. So it worked out.
Awesome. So, how did it come along? Was it that you networked with the right person, or did you just happen to see it at the right time? Like, what was that situation like for you?
I realized that I had to use the resources that I had around me. I am in New York, which is a great place for media. So I was attending a lot of networking events, and then I really put all into my LinkedIn page. So I put all my skills there, and people were finding me based off of my criteria and my experiences. So someone reached out from Fox and offered me this opportunity. And it's funny because the first job that I interviewed for there, I didn't get it. And a couple months later, she reached back out to me saying, "We have another position if you want to apply for that." And I ended up getting that. So it was like all on her part. I didn't really have to do much.
Awesome. So, what was that experience like? We all know that when people graduate from college, they're excited that they graduated, but now it's a new level. It's now okay, so I have to figure out what I'm actually going to do with this degree. And some people may live at home with their parents, or some people may be used to living on their own, but now there comes a new level of responsibility. So, what was that process like for you? You finish your degree and you say to yourself, okay, so I'm expected now to actually do some more adult things at a young age at that. So what can you talk a little bit about what your emotional state was, what your mental state was, and did you have the support of friends and family during that time of transition?
Sure. I always tell people the real work came after college. College was a breeze for me. I did what I had to do to graduate. I knew I was going to graduate. The work came afterwards. It was finding a job, finding a place to live, and I did move back home. I'm still back home. And managing my finances, my loans, everything just hit me all at once. I'm like, oh, this is what adulting is. Bring me back to college. But I feel like this is something to savings if I want to move out, you know, in a year or so. So
Arielle, repeat the last couple sentences again. Your reception was cutting out just a little bit. You said that college was a breeze for you, and then I didn't hear a whole lot after that point.
So I was saying that a lot of it I had to figure out on my own, in terms of my finances and figuring out what I can and can't do anymore. You know, I'm not at the liberty to go out and just spend money. If I know I want to move out in a year, I have to be putting towards savings while paying my bills at the same time. So
yes, and for some people it becomes a thing of, you know, I valued my independence while I was away from my parents, and now I'm back to being a child again. So there comes a little quote unquote identity crisis sometimes after having some level of independence for 4+ years sometimes, and now going back to depending on your parents and abiding by their rules, you know. So it's quite a transition. Can you talk a little bit about how people can gain support if they don't necessarily have an immediate circle of support to attain their next level or their dreams and aspirations? Because for some people, they may have known for a long time what they want to do in life, but they don't necessarily have the people in their corner to help them with the implementation steps of getting to that next dream or that next goal. So can you talk a little bit about maybe some of your challenges even with finding people to help support you, and some words of encouragement for people that feel like their closest friends and family maybe don't care or don't know how to help, even if they do care, or maybe they just don't have that level of support that they need?
I mean, I can definitely relate. Being Haitian American or just Caribbean expected you to, you know, become a teacher, lawyer, doctor, engineer. That's it. You know, things that are going to make you money. So I didn't have their full support when I first chose broadcast journalism. And I knew I was going to start at the bottom. I was willing to start at the bottom. And they were like, I don't know. But I realized that as I, you know, started to succeed, 2 jobs, then they hopped on board with what I was doing. But I had support from other people, and I realized that support doesn't have to come from the people that are closest to you. I have friends that I met. I did a lot of networking last year, and people that you don't even know are rooting for you. And I feel like that's very important. Sometimes I have to remember, oh, there's somebody out there that needs me to succeed, you know, in order for me to influence their life. So I go to certain people for different things, and having a mentor is also really important. I feel like I haven't found a mentor in my field yet, but I have people that I can reach out to here and there. My old high school cheer coach, my best friend, everyone gives me a piece of advice that I need to hear. So that's why I keep them around.
Yeah, and I love what you just said about that there are people out there that need for you to succeed because you have something in you that's going to be able to help them. And I believe that's the case for all of us. I think that we all depend on each other for growth. Everybody can teach each other something, and we all need for each other to succeed. We all need for each other to do our best and to put our best forward and to serve each other like humanity should. Can you talk a little bit about the relationship between self-care and us actually having the energy and the vitality to serve others? Because as we all know, there are times in our life where it becomes very overwhelming. We're very busy, and we don't necessarily feed our own spirits. And we're just go, 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 rush, rush, rush. We don't take a whole lot of time to step back and realize what we're doing in life. And a lot of times, our goal that we once had, it never gets pursued because we're just on a continuous pattern of being busy. So can you talk a little bit about maybe some self-care that you've used yourself, and what do you perceive as the relationship between the two, self-care and us being able to realize our dreams and serving others?
Yes. I feel like I have more time for myself than others. Like my sister is a teacher and she values self-care so much, but she can only give herself so much care because she's also taking care of her kids. Me, on the other hand, when I come home from work, my work stays at work. So I make sure that on my days off, on any second I get, I'm doing what I want to be doing. My mom is like, can you run here for me? Can you do this for me? I'm like, no, I have to do this. And I'm not doing anything important. I'm just sitting on my bed watching Netflix, and that's what I value. So I'm always making sure that I do what I want to do. And I do have a hobby. I do want to make YouTube videos, and I've started that, but I feel like I've been slacking on that. And while I do enjoy it, I don't want it to become a burden on me. So even in that sense, I guess you could consider that. But in that sense, I still value what I like. Do you know if that makes sense?
Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, you want to spend your time. You want to spend your time doing things that Arielle enjoys.
Right. I mean, like, I do enjoy doing hair. I love doing my hair, but I love doing it for me.
Right.
I'll edit videos when I have time to edit videos, but I do it for myself.
Yeah. And I think that is so key to find things that we find pleasurable, because you can easily spend a good portion of your day, going to school, going to work, taking care of your family, taking care of your friends. And if you have children, taking care of your children. And then at the end of the day, you're expended and you're like, who am I? And really, what did I do all day? Like, you really did a lot, but like really at the end of the day you feel like, well, what exactly did I do that was productive, that wasn't busy work, that wasn't meaningful? And I think that that's the key distinction. Is it meaningful, or is it just busy work throughout your day? There's a real difference between the two. I know that for myself, I like to spend portions of my day where I can just do what Ebonie wants to do, because I find that when I don't spend enough time doing that, then my whole attitude changes, and it's not good for the people around me. It's not good for the people around me, because then they're like, well, what's wrong with her? Why is she giving me an attitude? And then they're in a bad mood, and then they go off and they're now in a bad mood for the next person. And then that person gets pissed off and they're in a bad mood for the next person. So it really does start with us taking care of ourselves so that we can be the best for the people around us. And it really creates a ripple effect. Can you talk a little bit about your next steps? What would you like to see happen in your life? Or do you feel like at this point in time, you just don't quite know what's gonna occur and what you would like to occur?
I mean, no one really knows. I have things I want to do. I know that I want to produce an entertainment. I don't know how I'm gonna get there. And I also find myself planning all the time. I always need to plan my next steps. And sometimes I just can't do that. So I just got to Fox maybe 4 months ago. And I feel like right now I don't have to be planning my next steps. I can stay here for a year, try out things within the company, and then figure it out from there. Instead of, trying to plan the next 5 years. I find that overwhelming, and I tend to overthink a lot. But I guess in terms of short term and not career wise, I just want to settle down with someone, because that is still important to me. So maybe I'll focus on that this year. I don't know.
Awesome. And I think that not everything has to necessarily be career. We have our whole entire lives to work. So sometimes next steps could be, like you talked about a few minutes ago, developing your YouTube channel even. That's something that you love to do. So why not, since you have the time to focus on it. And I like one of the things that you said, that sometimes putting out a 5-year plan can feel overwhelming. And I'm glad you said that, because there are a lot of people that they think that, oh, I should have this 5-year plan or this 10-year plan or this 20-year plan, but I really don't know. I really don't know how to plan for that. And I believe that it's okay. It really is okay, because there are people that will go through the brain power to create those 5 and 10 and 15 and 20-year plans. And guess what? Nothing that they plan actually occurs. So I think that it's important to, always take action steps to smaller goals, and to be able to look forward, at least on a smaller scale. But always know that enjoying where you are right now is important. And If
Yes.
you're always planning, you're not enjoying the moment that you're in right now. And you'll look back and say, man, I've spent a whole life planning. I don't even really remember the happy moments in my life. Yeah, I went through them, but they didn't have a lasting impact on me because I was so busy looking forward to the next step. So I love that you mentioned that. I know for me, I used to plan a lot. Like I would know what I was going to be doing a whole year later. And it was not something that someone had to tell me to do. It was just something that my brain naturally did. But
Yes.
as I've gotten older, I'm 40 now. As I've gotten older, I just kind of don't even have the energy anymore to like forecast so far in advance. I just want to spend time relishing in the moment, and it feels so much more peaceful doing
Right,
that.
and I realized that things could change within a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I had planned, I think it was October, I had planned to move to Atlanta by the end of 2018. Then I got the job at Fox, and that whole plan was just deleted. So,
Yes, and that happens. I was going to say I appreciate a plan, but I also realize that sometimes you make plans and things just do not happen the way that you anticipated it happening. And I think that's the awesome thing about life sometimes. The fact that not everything goes to plan, it makes it more adventurous, And sometimes you can make a plan and things end up happening to you and for you that's a whole lot better than that plan was going to be. So I think
exactly.
taking things in stride is cool. Thank you so much, Arielle, for taking time with us today. And I do believe that everything you said is something that many young people and older people can appreciate and also learn from. And for any of you that are listening, remember at the beginning of the episode, I said that if you listen to the end, you would have an opportunity to earn a complimentary gift. If you are interested in learning a little bit more about your personality and your gifts and your strengths, or just seeking some more help in the area of career direction and your general health and wellness, I offer complimentary assessments to help you so that you have a good baseline so that you can focus. You'll see my Nutrition for Busy Women Facebook group link in the description box. Join it, and when you do, you'll have an opportunity to earn some complimentary material to help you in all those areas. So Arielle, before we end, do you have any last words of encouragement that you want to put out there for ladies? Something that you feel that if they're feeling stuck and they've heard everything you said, but they're still feeling like, I don't know if what she's saying really applies to my life because I'm just, so overwhelmed right now. I'm just so stressed out. What are some last words of encouragement that you can give to those ladies?
I would say to go for it. And you could apply that to anything. I had so many plans that I wanted to do, and I held myself back. I was the only thing holding myself back from doing them. And the worst thing that you can do is regret not doing something. So whatever you're thinking about, try it out. It might not work out, but at least you tried it. So.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that sometimes we can make a lot of progress when we do just go for it. Now, obviously, there are some things called common sense. You want to look at your situation and use wisdom with that. But we don't want you guys just going for it and, getting pregnant by the next stranger on the street because you want a baby.
Not all that.
let me put a little disclaimer on that. But, I think that in terms of you knowing that, the dream feels right for you, I think that just going for it a lot of times will put you a little further ahead than you just sitting there and just thinking about it. Even if you don't make that happen right away, just taking the baby steps toward it will allow more to happen, more fruit to occur than just sitting there and thinking about it. As Arielle said earlier, she said she was an overthinker, and she can be an overthinker. I think all of us can be overthinkers in a lot of situations. And that's why you don't see a large portion of people realizing their dreams. They understand what their gifts are. They understand what they would like to do. They might have known it since they were 5 years old. But for some reason, they're just staying where they are. So I strongly, strongly, strongly agree that just taking little baby steps toward that goal, by the end of the year, by the end of 5 years, by the end of 10 years, you can see a lot of growth from just taking those baby steps. So thank you, Arielle. I appreciate you. And for any of you that are listening that would like to share your experiences, your challenges, your struggles, your big endeavors in life, please reach out to me and I can interview you on one of our upcoming episodes. The intention behind this is to inspire and encourage ladies all around the world to believe in themselves and know that they're not alone in their endeavors, and to be able to make strides as women, as women that want to serve others and do it wholeheartedly. So if you would like to share your story, I would love to have you on a future show. And if you're not interested and you know someone that would be interested, please forward me their information and I will contact them as soon as possible. You guys, thank you so much. And no matter where you are in this world, always remember to live a life full of meaning and purpose. I'll talk to you guys